Hello there and welcome to Network Africa on Channels Television with me, Cynthia Are. Now, just before we bring you the latest on the UN Secretary General's visit to the Federal Capital Territory, here's a quick look at the top 3 stories which made headlines this past weekend.
The accusations against the United Nations peacekeeping mission in the Central African Republic continue to pour in. The mission has now been hit with new allegations of rape by peacekeepers, including one underage victim. The new allegations involve a report that 3 young women were raped by 3 members of a military contingent within the force known as MINUSCA. The latest incidents of abuse are said to have happened in Bambari, which is 385 kilometers from the capital Bangui, where troops from the Democratic Republic of the Congo are deployed.
We have recorded 13 cases of sexual abuse. That's 13 cases of sexual abuse, allegedly involving uniformed personnel of MINUSCA since the rehatting of the mission on the 15th of September 2014. Of these cases, 9 involved alleged attacks on minors.
Then Guinea's government has signed an agreement with the opposition, making concessions on 2 points of contention and raising hopes of a peaceful presidential election in October. According to government sources, the deal, reached after 2 months of negotiations, allows for more opposition representation in local administration and envisages reform of the Election Commission. Finally, things were anything but rosy in Somalia when at least 21 people were killed in 2 separate suicide car attacks on Saturday, August the 22nd. The ministry says 1 bomb went off in Mogadishu and the second car exploded also in the capital Mogadishu at a busy junction in the evening, killing 5 and injuring 7. The militant group Al-Shabaab has lost control of most of their territories to African Union troops in recent years, but they stepped up attacks in Mogadishu and elsewhere.
Now, back here in Nigeria, the UN Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, he's met with some key actors in the nation's business sector in Abuja to discuss issues of development, including climate change. But today's focus was basically on business and philanthropy. He met with various leaders in these areas. Mr. Ban is also expected to meet with the president and subsequently engage in a few field activities. But for more on this visit, we're going to go live to Abuja, where our correspondent Chukwuma Onekwusi is standing by. He has the latest on today's session. Chukwuma, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure, as always. Now, could you just tell us more about the highlights of the meeting?
Yeah, you talked about the UN Secretary General meeting with the members of the business community. He actually met with the president first before going to meet with members of the business community. And that was about 12 midday when he arrived at the presidential villa. And that meeting lasted for about an hour in the president's office. And they took a look at development issues, peace issues, security matters, and of course, the center stage being how to rescue the Chibok girls. In fact, the United Nations Secretary General is visiting Nigeria at a time it's getting close to 500 days since the abduction of those girls. And he said the release of those girls is uppermost in his mind and should be unconditional. That's what I'm taking away from that visit, Cynthia, first of all.
Well, Chukwuma, we know at some point the media was asked to leave and then a closed-door session took place. Any word on what was discussed there?
Well, usually such very high sensitive meetings are held behind closed doors. I told you, issues of development, issues of security, and peace matters. I think the United Nations took time to congratulate President Buhari on his victory at the polls. And of course, he commends Nigerians and Nigeria's role at the United Nations Security Council meeting, where our own Professor Joy Ogu is presiding. And of course, the president stands on the fight against corruption, and that is majorly what formed the crux of that discussion behind closed doors. And the UN Secretary General says he is happy that the president is approaching the fight against Boko Haram with a human face. You know, if you remember that the issues of how to ensure that human rights are not violated in the fight against corruption. But he made a very sensitive point, which I want to recall here right now. He said that the fight against corruption should not be approached, the fight against terrorism should not be approached militarily alone. That attention should be paid to provision of employment for the younger generation, as well as education for all. Cynthia.
Well, thank you so much for that. So, Chukwuma, is he leaving tomorrow, today? I know it's 2 days, basically. So when is he leaving? The UN Secretary General.
He should be leaving tonight at about 10 o'clock. And I want to believe that President Buhari, who also thanked him for the visit, the president expressed, as a matter of fact, the president expressed concern over displaced persons, about 1.5 million Nigerians that are displaced as a result of terrorism. He's going to host him tonight at about 7 p.m. to a dinner before he leaves at about 10 o'clock tonight.
Well, Chukwuma, thank you so much for the updates. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you very much. Our correspondent Chukwuma Onekusi reporting from Abuja. Well, still to come on Network Africa. It's time to face the music. The suspects of the Garissa University massacre, which left 148 people dead, had their day in court.